Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually going to be playing Slay the Spire. So this is a game that popped up on Steam's weekend special deal. So I'm assuming a lot of people got it, or a lot of people looked at it and didn't really know what to make of it. So I figured I'd make a quick video since I've been playing it. I've logged about 8 hours on it the past couple days, and I've beaten the game once or twice. And so what this is it's a combination roguelike deck building game. So, with a roguelike, what you have is a game designed to be played multiple times and not beaten every time, but progress you make in one run in some ways will help you in the next run, and the runs themselves are randomized in terms of encounters, paths, and bosses. A deck building game, rather than a trading card game like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, in a deck building game, you start with a basic deck of 10 cards, and you collect more cards as you play that add to your deck. You can try and get cards to fill out a theme or a specific strategy, but since it is a roguelike and it is a deck building game, there are significant elements of chance that can impact any strategy you set out with. And really, the game ends up being basically the best that you can do with what you're given. Determines how well you perform in the Spire. So it is an early access game. There are some balance issues, some hopefully placeholder artwork, because some of the artwork in this is just not good yet. There are going to be some bugs, there are going to be some balance issues. The biggest question is, in this current state of the game, is it worth your time and worth $10 of your money? And I would say yeah. I would say it definitely is. It's a solid build. It hasn't really crashed on me, and nothing has really been game breaking so far or so out of whack that I thought it was, unwinnable or completely and totally unfair. So I would say if this is your kind of game, absolutely, drop $10, give it a try, and have some fun with it, because it is fun in the current state. So I'm just going to jump into it and go through at least until I die, and show you guys kind of what the game is like. So you've got a couple different game modes. The standard mode is just the standard, climb the spire. Once you select it, you can choose between 3 different characters that all have very distinct play styles. So the Ironclad is kind of like a brute force class. He blocks a lot of damage, deals a lot of direct damage. The Silent is a rogue type class, so you can do a poison build or a combo build. And then the Defect is probably the closest thing the game has to a pet class. You can see you've got different types of orbs, and channeling these different types of orbs will have different types of effects. So far, the Defect is by far my favorite class. I think it's the best class and probably the easiest to beat the game with when you're new and don't have a lot of cards unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Rogue class to show you guys this run, since I have yet to beat the game with the Silent. So I'll go ahead and embark on the quest. So Act 1, since I've made some progress in the game, this Whale God comes and he kind of gives you a boon to try and help you on your run. And this is where I talked about how doing well on some runs can affect you in subsequent runs. We're going to go ahead and upgrade a card. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade one of my blocks. So you start out with a basic deck. You've got some blocks, or some defense cards, and you've got some strike cards to get you started until you can start building your deck out. But the later you go on, the more those cards actually become a lodestone. So here's what the map looks like. Essentially, you start at the bottom. So this is floor 1, floor 2, etc. And you start working your way up through the spire, through these various encounters, until you get to a boss. So there's 3 tiers, and each tier has a similar layout. and so we've got monster encounters, we've got random encounters, which can be good or bad, we've got shops with which to spend our gold, we've got elite bosses, or elite mobs, which I tend to avoid just because they can be very draining on your resources if you don't have the right loadout when you get to them. You have campsites where you can heal or upgrade cards, treasure chests where you can get bonuses and buffs and relics to give you permanent advantages in your run, and then finally the boss. So I'm just going to jump right into a monster run, and I'm going to try and plan my route. Normally I plan my routes by trying to avoid the elite mobs and trying to hit enough monsters, random encounters, and rest areas to get good decks for the bosses. So I'm going to come over here so that I can hit 2 monsters, then a random encounter, and then the shop to spend whatever gold I've accrued. So coming into it, you can see that the graphics are just not the best. It looks like an old Flash game, and I really hope they plan to essentially do an entire, ground up overhaul of the characters and the enemies. So we've got an enemy, we've got our opening hand, and it's actually 2 cards larger than it would be because of our starting relic. So the enemy always telegraphs their intent. Right now, he intends to use a buff. You'll know if they plan to attack you and for how much so that you can defend accordingly. The game gives you a lot of information and then trusts you to try and do well with that information. So since he is just channeling a buff, I'm going to go ahead and just try and get some early damage on him. We've got our current energy. Resources are fairly limited in this game. There are ways to get more energy, whether through cards or through relics. You can see now he plans to attack us for 6 damage, so we know that we want to defend. And any cards you don't use are added to your discard. Once your draw pile is empty, your discard pile is shuffled and drawn from again, so your deck keeps cycling and cycling. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more damage on him, or 2 more attacks, I'm sorry, and end the turn. So now I've got 8 guard, he attacks me, I block 6 of it. Now his strength is upping because his the buff that he channeled increases his attack damage by 3. So now, go ahead and use that 0 damage to bump his attack back down. And you can see some of these cards are actually getting recycled now that the deck has been shuffled, and I'm starting to go through it again. Put another defense up to block him, get in 6 damage, another 6 damage. Now he's down to 3, so now I know that he's going to do 6 damage to me, and I'll be able to kill him on my next turn no matter what. So I don't have to worry about defending on the next turn. So I'll go ahead and finish him off. So I get 16 gold for that encounter, a ghost in a jar, so potions, you can carry up to 3 potions and you can use them in any combat. I actually tend to forget about them, but they can save your bacon. And the big thing was we get to add a card to our deck, so we get to look at these cards. Oh wow, that's really nice. I actually haven't seen this card before. So we can apply poison, or we can just do straight up 15 damage and get draw 2. This card has been really good, but I haven't played with this card yet, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And see, we'll move on to the next encounter. So now I'm fighting a jaw worm. This guy can be a little annoying because he does tend to do quite a bit of damage. But luckily I've got my debuff, so I knocked his attack damage down to 8, which I can block. And now we will use the Predator card, so we'll do a lot of damage to him, and we'll be able to draw more cards next turn. So we go ahead and keep that that guy buffed, and unfortunately we don't get a whole lot out of that. He's using a buff, so we're just going to do straight attack damage to him. And we should be able to kill him on our next turn. Unless he... So now he's got 6 armor, so we need to do at least 14 damage to him, which we have. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the 0 mana card, and then use Predator again to finish him off. So that's already being a pretty good card. So drawing through your deck allows you to cycle to your better cards. Okay, so now we've got new cards to choose. So these are all common rarity cards. I do kind of like this one. Deal 8 damage and draw a card. That's pretty good too. And a 0 energy cost card is always nice because that'll help combo cards. Cycling through your deck is always nice. I think I'll go ahead and grab the Quick Slash. And then I need to kind of focus on getting some defense cards, I think. Nope, so this random encounter just ended up being an attack. Let's see. So this guy has 10 health. So we would need to spend our entire turn attacking him. I'm thinking we're going to be better off defending this turn. So that's 8. We need 13 total. So we're going to take a little bit of damage either way, it looks like. No, we're good. And then we'll try and kill this guy off on our next turn. So health is kind of your most limited resource in this game. It's the hardest to regain after you lose it. Okay, so he's going to use a debuff. So I will go ahead and deal 6 damage to him and kill him. And then use Predator on the bigger slime, which will give me extra draw on the next turn. And I'm thinking, since I've got a lot of card draw this game, I maybe want to focus on some of these 0 cost cards. Alright, and that'll let me kill this guy. So, like I said, the Silent is really good at comboing. So I'm thinking this will probably be the best bet since we're a little defense light on our deck so far. Now we've got a shop, so let's take some of our hard-earned gold. And yeah, the graphics in this game just are not quite there yet. I mean, for a $10 game, it's not too bad, but I think they've got to be raking in quite a bit of money. Deal 13 damage to all enemies. That is a nice one. 7 damage X times, so X being the number of available energy you have. This is also very nice since it's shivs are a 1 damage, or a 0 cost attack card. More block would be nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this. Because it looks like we're building a high damage combo deck right now. And we have enough for more. Oh, I didn't even look at that. 3 attacks in 1 turn, gain a strength. If I had enough gold, that would be amazing. And we'll go ahead and grab... Well, I guess we can't grab Infinite Blades anymore, so we'll go ahead and grab Skewer. And we'll leave. And there's an elite mob this way, so I'm going to go ahead and tackle these guys. So we've got some fungi beasts. He's going to attack for 6. So I think we might be able to actually kill him. So we've got 13 and then 14 damage. So that's 27. So we'd be 1 shy of killing him. So we're actually just going to open with die, and then go ahead and leg sweep this guy. And then go ahead and end the turn. So that'll keep us from taking damage, and now these guys are pretty low. So getting that card in our opening hand looks like it's going to be pretty beneficial. So we've got a couple things we can do here. I think we can just finish everyone off this turn. So let's neutralize these guys. So that's 7 damage. Nope, so... Ooh, that was a mistake. We're going to take a little bit of damage here. Quite a bit of damage here since we're actually weakened. If I had noticed I was weakened, I probably would have played that a little bit different. So, overcomes the block, deals 5 extra damage to us. And now we'll go ahead and just finish him off. What card do we get? Sucker Punch. That's kind of nice. Poison is nice, but I think we're kind of getting away from that this game. And I'm thinking... 3 poison's nice because 3 poison basically means 3 damage on the turn, so that's 8 damage right away. And then another 2 damage, and then another 1 damage. So that's 3, 5, 6. So 11 damage total for that over 3 turns. But I'm thinking I'm just going upfront damage in this one, so we'll take Sucker Punch. And if you don't like any of the rewards, you can skip a card selection. We'll come into the rest, and since I'm doing pretty good on HP, I'll go ahead and Smith. And I think I'm just going to upgrade Die, Die, Die. I think that might just end up being kind of the mainstay in this. So we will proceed. And now we're coming up. So we do have a branch up here. And it looks like we do have a good path to the boss. That'll let us fight some monsters, get some treasure, and upgrade. These guys can be kind of annoying. 7 damage, 8 damage and draw a card. Let's try that. And we just got more defenses. So he's just applying a debuff. So we'll just go ahead and secure him. So once this guy gets to half health, he's going to split into smaller slimes. So what I want to do is save that Die, Die, Die until... So it interrupted his attack, and now split. Save the Die, Die, Die until I can hit at least 3 people with it. There's no real benefit to using any more of these, I don't think. Oh, with Spike Slime's current HP... so yeah, we can go ahead and try and do a little bit more damage to it. I didn't realize, I thought they just had a certain amount of HP starting out. So I guess it kind of benefits you to do as much damage as you can in its current state. So now they've got 2 slimes. So now I can go ahead and use Die, Die, Die. Now they're down to 5, so I can kill both of them off in 1 turn. So, Prepared is actually a pretty decent card. Any card that cycles itself and allows you to get rid of a card you don't want is pretty good. Outmaneuver is nice for setting up combos, though. It's pretty hard to get more energy, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take... It's a hard choice between these two. I'm going to go ahead and take Outmaneuver, though. These guys can be kind of annoying, but it starts out with Die, Die, Die. And this is... Man, this card is just paying dividends. Got another potion. So strength potions up your damage. So that'll probably be pretty useful to us. Alright, now we can get more defense, more attack. or another 0 damage card. I'm thinking we're pretty good on damage right now. Defense is what we're going to need. Now we get a treasure chest and a ninja scroll. Start each combat with 3 shivs. Ooh, that's very nice. I like that. Now we'll come up. Now we've got a campfire again. We're good on health, so we're just going to go ahead and smith. So what is... So next turn gain 3. That's very nice. I would have rather reduce it to a 0 mana cost. Predator deal 20 damage. Quick slash 12 damage. Sucker punch 9 damage, deal 2 weak. 10 damage. Ooh, that could be really good without maneuver for just an extremely high energy burst. 15 block is also nice. This is kind of the hardest part for me, deciding what to upgrade. We're getting quite a bit of high cost cards, so I think I'm going to go ahead and upgrade outmaneuver. I've got our next enemy encounter. These guys can get kind of annoying because they tend to do a lot of high damage attacks right off the bat. We'll go ahead and guard up and outmaneuver so that we've got a lot of energy next turn, and we'll go ahead and use our 3 ships. So that's really nice because it's just a free 12 damage in your opening hand every game, or every encounter. Alright, so I've got 6 energy, so 6 times 7 is what, 48? So that should just outright kill him. And if not, I deserve a lot of damage for being bad at math. 35. 48, man, I can't math in the morning. But more than enough. Alright, what do we have? Draw 3 cards, discard 1. Deal 8 damage and energy next turn, so this pays for itself on the next turn. Or add a random skill to your hand, it costs 0. I like that. Let's give that a try. Okay, so now we can either go towards an elite enemy plus an encounter. I'm almost feeling kind of good about the elite enemy right now, just because we've been having such a strong showing initially. Or I could upgrade 2 cards. I don't know if I have really enough money for a merchant to be worth it. I'll go ahead and try for the elite enemy. Usually I avoid them, but we're doing okay. Corridor full of hypnotizing colored mushrooms. Due to your lack of specialization in mycology, you are unable to identify the specimens. Stomp, anger the mushrooms, heal 7 HP. Cursed parasite. Typically curses manifest as cards in your deck that you can't get rid of without significant cost. So, and I also don't need to heal 17 HP, so I'm just going to go ahead and anger the mushrooms, and yep, it results in an encounter. So that's kind of annoying, but let's see, one of them is attacking me, so let's try and kill him. We'll go ahead and Predator him and then get 2 more cards in the next turn. What else do we have? Go ahead and use that since it's free. Another Shiv since it's free. And let's try out this distraction card. Malaise. Ugh. That's not helpful to us this turn, unfortunately. But, alright, let's go ahead and move to the next turn. So they're using Grow, which is increasing their strength. That's not good for me, because now they're both attacking. Go ahead and use Die. So we can at least get rid of... Oh, we can kill both of them. Perfect. Man, that card is by far the best card in my deck. And now that actually gives us some stuff. So 25 gold. When vulnerable, take 25 more damage rather than 50%. That is very nice. A weak potion. And a new card. Ooh, and we get a legendary card. If this card is discarded from your hand, gain energy, or costs 1 less energy for each card discarded this turn. Deal 18 damage. But I don't really have a whole lot of discard mechanics. We'll take Tactician, maybe? Ooh, and then maybe try and get some more discard mechanics. Maybe that'll pay off, maybe it won't. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. More rodents. So he's going to attack. 21 damage. We'll just go ahead and use our shivs. Don't think we'll need that. We'll do 3 damage over here. 2 weak. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and kill him off. This is discarded from your hand. I wonder if that means even at the end of turn. No, I think it's only if I play a card that forces it to discard. Alright, so now he's growing. So now he's going to do 11 damage. So I don't have what I would need in my hand to completely negate that. I'm going to go ahead and use a draw. Sucker Punch. That could be useful. It'll apply 1 weak to reduce his damage. But I'm still going to take 3 damage here. Not ideal. So the weak, the effect doesn't stack if you increase the stacks over here. It just increases the number of turns that they're weak. But I should be able to kill him next turn unless we get really bad draws. And we got pretty bad draws. But he's not attacking this turn, so should just be able to do some damage. And apply some weak to him. And go into the next turn and kill him. These guys can be a big problem if you let them live for quite a while. Let's go ahead and do Distraction just for fun, just to see what he gives us. Deadly Poison. So just to kind of show you guys, when you poison them, it actually shows what % of their health bar they're going to take from poison. So since the level of poison is greater than the level of his current HP, it should just kill him right at the end of the turn. Or right at the beginning of his turn. So poison decks can be pretty fun because you can stack poison basically higher and higher to kind of get just this rolling damage every turn. But if you're going to do something like that, it seems like it's almost better to just do the orb guy, the defect, I think he's called. Alright, so let's take a look. Dagger Throw, draw 1 card, discard 1 card. I do need more discards. Heel Hook, deal 5 damage if the enemy is weak, gain energy and draw, that's kind of nice. And Blur, gain 5 block, do not remove. I do kind of need more block. Definitely need more energy. But I also need more discards, and 9 damage is nothing to scoff at for 1 energy. So now we've got our elite enemy. So this is the one I'm kind of worried about, because these guys can be, in some cases, as tough as the bosses. Yeah, 3 of these guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and so we've got 1 guy attacking, the others are going to be putting basically really annoying cards in our deck. And if we can get these guys kind of down low enough to where Kill Them All can finish them off, that'll probably benefit us quite a bit. And they've also got protection against debuffs. So let's go ahead and we'll use Survivor right off. Discard Tactician to get an extra energy. And we'll use Shiv to get some damage on everyone. Sucker Punch to try and get more damage and get rid of his anti-debuff thing. We'll go ahead and use Dagger Throw. And Strike. So I'm going to focus on getting 2 of them low enough to kill, because I can deal with 1 easily enough. So this is really annoying because they put these dazed cards in my hand and they just take up space in your hand. Alright, so now we've got die, die, die. And we've got 2 guys attacking, so if we can kill 1, we should be able to block the other. "12 block, 2 weak." So we're gonna have to take some damage off this guy, it looks like. So killing this guy is probably the best way to stop from taking a whole lot of damage, and then we can hopefully kill this guy off next turn. We're still going to take damage, but elite enemies do give you a relic, which is nice. So, we can defend. So 6 damage. So all we need is 1 mana for this. So let's go ahead and use Distraction, see what we get. Draw 1 card, and if it's a skill, gain 3 block. It's 0 mana, we might as well. Neutralize, that's nice. So let's go ahead and we will neutralize this guy. And then outmaneuver, so we've got a lot of energy next round. And then we'll go ahead and skewer. And that just leaves us with 1 enemy, which we can deal with. Should be able to deal with. Yep, we've got a Predator and a Strike. So that'll finish him off. Alright, so we've got 33 gold, a Blood Vial. Start of each combat, heal 2 HP, that's pretty nice. And a Regen Potion. You know, I completely forgot about. I always forget about my potions, so I'll go ahead and discard the Regen Potion. And draw until you have 6 cards in hand, that's kind of neat. Go ahead and take another block card. And now we've got another campfire, so we'll go ahead and rest up. So 21 HP, that'll put us at full for the boss. And let's go ahead and come up to the boss. So I fought this guy a couple times. And he's not the worst boss. He can be kind of annoying. And right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to try and get some damage on him before he shifts. And we've got a steroid potion, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that right away. And that's going to increase all of my damage by quite a bit. So we'll just open up with the shivs. There's no more enemies in this, so we'll go ahead and do die, die, die to deal 22 damage to him. Another 13, draw a card. And we can deal 11 or 12 damage to him, so we'll just deal the 12. So now he's in defensive mode, and essentially anytime I attack, he's going to try and deal 3 damage to me. Let's see. So now that I'm relying on attacks, this becomes a little bit precarious for me. So now he's down to 6. Go ahead and weaken him, and then get a little bit more damage in. So 12 block. He's still weakened for 2 turns. I'll go ahead and keep that weakened up, get our health up, and now we've got we'll take some damage. Damn. Would have been better to not do that. That's alright. So we'll take some damage and then we'll use our regen potion. So now he's back in his attack mode. So he's going to do 12 damage to us. So we'll go ahead. Do we have anything that discards? Let's go ahead and block, and then outmaneuver. So now he's gonna armor up next turn. Alright, so now we've got 6 energy to deal with. We'll go ahead and use this to draw a card. And it's a defense. So, use distraction, prepared, which will let us discard tactician. Dagger throw is going to let us draw another card, and it's a defense card. So we ended up with quite a bit of wasted energy there. That's alright. And no, let's not use that quite yet. Might as well just use these. No reason not to. So now he's going to start hitting pretty hard. So we are going to use the Ghost in a Jar, which is going to essentially make us intangible. And then this attack is only going to deal 1 damage to us. He's still got 4 instances of weak, so we'll just use outmaneuver. And then use Sucker Punch to apply another weak, and Skewer to do 1 more damage to him. So we need to do 15 more damage to put him back in powerful negative effect. I don't like the sound of that. Unfortunately, I don't have 15 damage in hand. Maybe I went a little bit too hard on the defense cards, and I'm not getting the best draws with them, so we'll go ahead and keep stacking weak on him to keep his attack damage down. I'm not looking forward to what this powerful negative effect is. Weakened and vulnerable for 2 turns. Alright, well... we only need to deal 3 more damage to get him into the negative mode. So let's go ahead and use Predator. And strike. So now he's down to half HP. And now he's back in the deal damage to us mode. So, let's see. We'll go ahead and use Defend to gain a block. Neutralize to reduce his attack damage. Oh, it's already reduced. So we can draw a card, discard a card, or we can get... Let's go ahead and outmaneuver, and then defend, just to make sure we take no damage. Alright, so that should set us up pretty well. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So, we'll leg sweep, which will put us at 12 block. Quick slash. Predator. And now, so he's doing 12 damage to us, so we need to make sure that we negate that. So we'll go ahead and make sure that we don't take any damage from this guy. So now he's back in the attack mode. Okay, so he's going to do 12 damage to us again, which we should be able to mitigate without too much trouble. So we'll go ahead and use Prepared and discard a Tactician, which will give us 4 energy. We'll leg sweep and then strike him twice. So he's looking like he's going to block on his turn. So really all we can do is just try and get some damage in. And here's the bad one. So I'm going to need to defend. Unfortunately, I can't use both leg sweeps. The most it looks like I'll be able to block is, let's see, 12, 17 damage. So we'll go ahead and use Prepared, which just gives me another defend. So we'll go ahead and leg sweep and defend. Next turn we'll go ahead and just use the regen potion, since now we're down below 7 damage. So we'll try and use that maybe at the end if I don't like how this encounter goes. Discard Tactician for extra energy. Go ahead and use Outmaneuver. Sucker Punch. Strike. So this combo build is actually going pretty well, it seems like. Alright, so it looks like he's going to do 16 damage to us. Start out with Neutralize. And we don't have any kind of damage mitigation. So yeah, we're definitely going to use the regen potion. Quick slash. Okay. Forgot that he would transform, so that's good for us. And Predator. And since he doesn't have his buff up yet, we'll go ahead and get some more damage in him. So now he's got his damage buff up. We're still weakened. 3 energy and a lot of cards. So we will go ahead and use Quick Slash, which lets us, let's go ahead and defend before we use Dagger Throw to discard Tactician. And we'll go ahead and defend one more time so that he'll only do 1 damage to us. So now he's down to 29 HP. And it looks like he's got 12 damage and a debuff. So we'll take the 12 damage in order to outmaneuver and draw more cards on the next turn. After you defeat the boss, you get full HP for the next stage. And hopefully we can kill him in this game. So 7 times 6, what was that, 35? Yeah, he's dead. Alright, so 97 gold, another regen potion, and another card. So now we've beaten a boss, so we get a legendary card. Last Knife, 16 damage for 1 energy is not bad. Wraith Form is nice for like a burn down kind of thing. You know, it gives you limited near invulnerability in exchange for blocks becoming less and less effective as the fight goes on. So that ends up being a dead card actually a lot of the time. Next turn, draw. That looks good on paper, but I'm not too sure about it, honestly. I think I'm going to take the Glass Knife. And we get a treasure, so we get to choose a relic. I haven't seen this relic before. Whenever you open a non-boss chest, obtain a curse. Ugh. However, extra energy at the start of each game. You can no longer gain gold. And a tiny house. Obtain 1 potion, 30 gold, 5 max HP, obtain a card, obtain 1 random card. So that's just kind of a one-off. If I can avoid non-boss treasure chests, that might be very useful. So you can see most of these are kind of a double-edged sword, but we'll go ahead and we'll take that. Alright, and we've moved on to Act 2. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the video there. You know, if you guys want to check this game out, feel free to grab it on Steam. And, you know, if you like the video, be sure to leave a comment. Or if you think I could be playing better, if my strategy has some flaws, go ahead and let me know. And if you like the channel, you want to see more videos of this type, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Or give the video a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.